Chivas loses one game and Guadalajara goes up in flames. Meanwhile, the rest of Liga MX is fighting for scraps. But here's the real question. Were Chivas actually exposed, or did Cruz Azul prove themselves as real title favorites? We got to talk about it. I'm not going to lie, the first half was low-key disappointing. Both teams were feeling each other out, no one threw big punches. But the second half, Cruz Azul dictated the pace. Toro scores from a corner kick. Chivas respond and show some life. And then out of nowhere, Charlie Rodriguez comes with the header from another corner and sends Guadalajara into a war zone. I've never seen Guadalajara struggle so much in set pieces as they did this game, but that's something they got to look out if they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs. Did this game expose Chivas? Well, kind of, a little bit, but not in a bad way. This is their level. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You know, your Pueblas, your Mazatlans, then go toe-to-toe with the contenders. Let's not forget, Cruz Azul arguably has the best roster in Mexico right now. For Chivas to compete like that, you know, that's pretty good for them. But Cruz Azul, as of today, they're my clear favorites for the title. Pachuca versus Tigres. This game was peak. This game was cinema. First of all, I want to say on the disallowed Pachuca goal, that shit was soft. The foul on Idrissi earlier was worse, and Gato Ortiz didn't even bat an eye. Pachuca was the only team to show up in the first half. Tigres looked sloppy in the final third. Their defense was absolutely getting cooked by Idrissi in the first half. He kind of tapered off later in the game. Should have been 1-0 Pachuca at halftime. Then Tigres gets a red card. Rodon scores his goal. Brazilian Kennedy scores an absolute screamer that humiliates that clown that Tigres has as a goalkeeper. This game was peak Friday night soccer. Tigres, they're coming off 2 losses against 2 very solid teams, one being Cruz Azul and Pachuca, which in my opinion are very, very sneaky going into the later half of this tournament. And then we got the fraud match. Pumas versus Monterrey. Let me say this about Pumas. Pumas are frauds. Anyone with 2 eyes watches this team and instantly sees that this team is not good. I mean, sure, they won, but to me, they didn't look that spectacular. 2 lucky goals, and Monterrey's incompetence in the final third. Keylor Navas probably saving from an embarrassing comeback. Monterrey is slow in transition. Their finishing is non-existent. This new guy from Atlas that they picked up hasn't showed up. The tactics are boring. Torrent is brain dead. The subs that he made did absolutely nothing. These guys rely on pure talent, and that's just not enough. In my opinion, Torrent has to go at the end of the season, even if he wins the CONCACAF Champions League. Next game, we got América Puebla. This one surprised me a little bit. León, Puebla looked very dangerous. 2 clear chances missed, and if they score those, this game is totally different. Then Vega scored his debut goal with Club America, and they handled business 4-0. For me, that's a surprise. With the current form, Puebla does this a lot. They start hot and then fade completely. Still not fully convinced about this America team in the long term. Necaxa versus Toluca. On paper, this looked dominant, but it wasn't. This game ended up being 3-0. In my opinion, Necaxa had a strong first half. Honestly looked better for a stretch of the game. Toluca finally locked in and scored 3 goals like it was nothing. That is what elite teams do. Toluca has looked shaky at the beginning of the tournament. That does not fully convince me. I mean, sure, they're good, but Cruz Azul, they look more complete right now. Tijuana versus Mazatlan. This game started at midnight, and I went to bed. In the morning, had to get up and watch the greatest country on earth kick Canada's ass in their own sport. So I went to bed. I'm surprised if the players' moms even watched this game. Atlas versus San Luis. Atlas beat San Luis 3-2. This was a solid game. First half, San Luis went up 2-0, and then Atlas came back and dropped 3 on them. This is one of the games that we look back in April as these 2 teams are probably going to be fighting for the final spot of the playoffs. And then we got León Santos. Santos, I mean, they're in free fall. There really isn't much to talk about. León beat them 2-1. Nothing flashy, but I mean, León kind of needed this result because they haven't looked very good at all. Querétaro Juárez was postponed due to off-the-field stuff that, I mean, I think we all know what's going on. But, I mean, that's it for this week. I think we have a pretty good picture of what the ending of this season is going to be. We have Cruz Azul as the clear favorites, not far off behind Toluca and Chivas, and then probably 2 feet of shit. And then we got Pachuca, Pumas, Tigres, who in my opinion aren't going to be making that much noise. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed, like the video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.